Okay, so I've done a little bit more work off camera just to further clean up the legs. Basically, I was just trying to prevent overlap. So the shoes don't overlap, although you do notice that I did mess up the UVs because somehow I ended up with a hole in the shoe, and so I filled holes, but I'll fix that later. The main thing I wanted to do is get the models from overlapping. That will make our job here a little bit easier when we go to skin the legs. So I'm going to collapse spine 1 and I'm going to grab thigh twist 01. And let's see here. Yeah, let's do volume and replace. Oops. Maybe let's do surface. Surface is definitely nicer because you can't make mistakes like that. Or at least it's a little bit harder. And like I did with the spine, I do like to kind of work all the way down. Yes, it creates a little bit more work for myself. Not much though. But the main point of doing it for me is knowing that if I can move the thigh, I can see that it's all moving. So we'll have to see here in a second what this looks like. And then when it comes to skinning the thigh, I like to think of it as like wearing briefs. So you can see here that you just kind of cut a line. This isn't the bestest of the world in topology, but you kind of cut a line as if there were briefs on like this. And that's a good starting place. And we'll just smooth all that out here in a moment. So let's grab and make sure the rest of this is looking good. See here we've got some stuff that isn't skinned up inside. And some stuff down here. Alright, let's take a look at this. So we can grab the thigh, and you can see we still missed some stuff. The pants look good, but we missed some stuff in here. So let's go to Edit Weights, Mesh. And we're just going to grab these, and I believe there's a hammer. And we'll do the same thing here. That's interesting. Those didn't want to get affected for some reason. Let's just try to do replace then. That looks like I might have gotten a little bit of that one, so we'll have to take a look at that. Otherwise, I think we're almost there. Alright, so let's see if we can find that vert here, hammer. Alright, there we go. And like I said, what we can do here is go back to brush mode, go to relax, and I'll drop the brush size down a little bit, and we'll just kind of paint some of this in here. I don't want to go too high up, like I don't want to affect the belt, because then I don't want the belt to start deforming. So we'll see what we can do. It's okay if the belt does deform, I just want it to deform uniformly so that it maintains its shape. Cool. So let's take a look at this again. It's not bad. Yeah, not too shabby. It's not the best in the world, but it's alright. And let's go ahead and get into this, and then we'll do the thigh weights. So the thigh weights are essentially going to start kind of like halfway down the thigh, so about here. This mannequin skeleton only has one thigh twist, but we could simply add some more if we wanted to, but let's just start with the one and see how we feel about that. So I think right now I would say selection tools in here would be pretty great, and if they do exist, I am completely blind to them. Because yeah, it's a little bit tricky, like being able to isolate selection and things. I feel like you could do that, but I don't see anything that would allow me to do that. So, but I felt like they did show something like that. If anybody knows though, leave a thing in the comments. I'd love to. That would make this a lot easier. All right, so again, I'm not gonna. It's gonna get too difficult to get in there, and so now that I already did that work to like separate this stuff out, it's a little bit easier to go in here now and just like clean up the weights now that the leg is separated out. So that's the nice thing. We only need to do that painful part once, and then we can move the leg out and do it. The thing you want to be careful of though is that you don't end up with like thigh weights down here, or sorry, thigh twist weights, that is. Cool. So the way the thigh twist works is if we were to twist the thigh, so you can see here 50, let's go to like 60, and then we twist this back some amounts, say like -50. That's what we want to kind of see, and then we'll just clean up this area here. Again, switch this to surface so we don't start relaxing the other side. Maybe I do want volume for some of these bits. And here you can see we have some issues with some verts we need to hammer out. So let's go to mesh and grab this, hammer that. What in the world are these? Also, I wish you could frame on your selection, so that would be nice. At least F doesn't seem to do it. Let's see if we can hammer this. Alright, we'll just do a replace then. Another thing that might be useful is if we just take the thigh twist and just translate it like this, we can kind of quickly see the problem spots and then fix those up. So here, I'm going to replace, and then here that looks like it should also be replaced. And then here I'm just going to hammer that so it looks a little bit smoother. Cool. Let's go ahead and do the calf now. And like before, I am going to just go ahead and move this out. It'll be a little bit easier to work with. And then Also, a lasso select would be pretty sick. All right, so the calf is here. I'm going to go volume and replace. I feel okay doing volume in this instance just because I've moved the leg out, and that should make it easier to get all the little spots that have been problematic. Cool. Let's go ahead and rotate the calf. And edit weights again. This time we will do a relax. And it looks like we're getting like a thing on the inside of the leg that's kind of causing us some grief. Oh, I see what it is. It's that piece. All right. All right, let's see what we can do. I might just try doing like an add and coming in on the thigh and just kind of doing something like this. All right. And then here on the calf, I also, so yeah, we'll put it on surface this time. I want to get some of the volume back in here, which is going to be a little bit tricky. There we go. So yeah, just trying to get that volume back in so it doesn't look like the leg's just kind of collapsing on itself. And then we can just kind of come in and do a quick relax just to try to even it out a little bit. But I kind of feel like that's not too bad. That's pretty good. All right, so for the calf twist, I'm going to go into mesh and let's just grab pretty much about that. And let's grab the calf twist and do a replace. And now let's go ahead and grab this. I do like how they do that selection preview thing. That's pretty slick. And then let's go ahead and relax. And go back to brush, relax. We'll see how that looks. It might not look that great, but we can always fix it. So the idea is here, the calf twist. If the foot rotates, then the calf twist will kind of rotate with it. So you'll get something like this. With only one calf twist, we are definitely going to lose some volume. But I think that's all right for this example. So we'll call that done. And last but not least, let's bring the calf or the thigh out again so it's easier to select. And let's go ahead and do volume, replace, select the foot. And make sure that we get too much. All this stuff here on the shoe. And maybe if you hold down control, you can do the opposite. So if replace is set to 1 and I hold down control, I can set it to 0 to fix that area. So now that should look good again. Let's pose the foot and go ahead and relax. Interesting. So relax definitely seems to work very different versus with selection versus like the brush, right? So if I come in here with the brush, I feel like I don't quite get the aggressive results that I get with the mesh selection. Also got to be careful to smooth this too much, because then you start to really lose the shape. And control on smooth doesn't seem to do anything. That would be cool if it kind of like brought some of that volume back. I believe NG Skin Tools calls this like scale or sharpen, one of those two. So yeah, now we want to probably bring some of the calf twist volume back. Tricky. All right. Not too bad. And let's go ahead, reset that. And then lastly, we can do the ball joint. So replace, volume. Let's get a good angle here. Oh boy. It's kind of wild how much volume that affected. All right, something like this maybe, and then we'll kind of remove some of these influences here. And then I think we can just kind of relax this like so, and let's take a look. Not bad. All right. So I'm gonna try. I don't know if it needs for mirroring, if it if it will do it like this, but where you can like have something posed. I'm gonna guess not, but let's try it. Maybe I'll save first, and then mirror. Kind of looks like it worked. So thigh. Oh, yeah, maybe not. Maybe not the best. Let's try it again. That looks a little bit more symmetrical. Let's see, positive to negative. That is correct. Okay? That's the prune. Doesn't look like there's any kind of like tolerance or anything. What are these skin to? All right, let's see how that did. Calf twist, foot, ball. Looks like it's all right. So now that these are done, let's revert those or reset those transforms and open up our, let me just save all. Let's go ahead and open up our control rig. Okay, so here's our leg. We have the left leg here. So let's grab and drop that in the socket, parent this under the spine, and then go into the thigh L socket. And this might just crash. Okay, yeah, it did. Right on. Let's try it again. Okay, well, first of all, let's see, that looks fine. So leg, drop that. Let's compile. Let's save. And then let's set this to thigh L socket. Okay, everything seemed to work there. And let's double check. So foot, thigh, calf, etc. And if we start messing with this, we do get some IK leg motion. And you can see that I've got some knee popping through. We can adjust that later. But all right, cool. Control Shift G to do that. And then there should be a foot, I believe. Foot. Let's go ahead and go to our rig hierarchy here. And so there's a ball socket. That's what I was looking for. Ball. Compile. I'm going to save. Drag this under leg. And then we are looking for the, first of all, let's set the foot bone. I don't know why that got messed up, but do that. And then this can get the ball socket, and now we should be good. So I'm not entirely sure. That looks kind of messed up. The orientation of that looks pretty crazy. Let's take a look at the settings in here. So foot, ball, that looks all right. But yeah, I don't believe the skull mesh bone orientation was as such. No, skull mesh one is quite clean. So I'm not sure what possessed this to do what it did. Let's see here. I don't really see. You can also see that this module doesn't really have twists in it. It's not factoring in the twist bones. We could definitely see what we can find with this module. Okay, so I think we can browse to asset. Most likely you need to have engine and plugin content visible, but this way what we could do is look into actually exposing twists, and then on the foot we could also look into what might be happening there and fix those up as well, because yeah, I'm not sure what the foot's doing, but it's not doing what I would expect, and the rotation it's giving is not good. So I'm actually going to delete that module for now, since that's causing some issues, and I'm going to go ahead and just get the right leg done real quick. So I'm going to rename leg here to leg L, and this will be leg R, just so it's clear. This goes under spine, the thigh R socket, and now we should be able to at least see this working. But yeah, so next video we'll look into diving into the modules here and see what we can figure out, and expose some twist bones and get some twist logic in here, and yeah, see you then.